this factor R has three memorable values. Above, the meaning is for flying, is the value of 10, which I erased by mistake from here. The other extreme is 1. So that's in air, in water, and on land. It would have to be in between. And that depends on the quality of the running surface. Animals that run through the bush will have an R closer to 1. Through the bush, muddy terrain such as the hippo, even though hippo is a very fast runner because of height, meaning size. And then other animals such as the ostrich and so on. Impala runs on flat land, no bushes. They would have an R above the in-between value, which would be around 4. There's no, everything is between the density of water, meaning in the body, and versus the density of the ambient. And the ambient on Earth varies between dense, which is water, and rarefied, which is air. What varies is the ambient, not the body. The body of the insect is water. You really want to figure that one out? Catch a grasshopper. Obviously, he or she dies in captivity, and then you store that in your home. And by the way, you weigh that thing before you store it, and then you weigh it 1 year later, and you'll find that it's a lot lighter because all the water has evaporated from that. Let's call it carcass, except that the insect is so bony that it's like a soldier in the Middle Ages dying wearing his metallic that thing around him, around his body. What do you call it?
Chest plate.
Huh?
Chest plate or armor?
Armor, yeah. The body armor, yes, on the dead soldier makes the cadaver look intact, Okay. I'll return to this, but before I return, let me make another observation. You look at it. So so this is on land. I already told you the better the running surface, the faster or the greater this R. So maybe these athletes at the Olympics would run with an R of 5. In fact, that's what, if you really look at the speeds in the record book, is that. You have here, again, a prediction that the winning speeds at the Olympics in the 100-meter dash should be, roughly speaking, 5 times greater than the winning speeds for the 100-meter freestyle. That is a prediction, which turns out to be correct. You may have seen this viral video where 2 friends decide to race along one of these Olympic pools, and they both jump in the water. They have a friend with a stopwatch, but one of them is sneaky. He gets out of the water and runs around the pool and jumps at the other end and beats the honest swimmer, because the speed of the runner is significantly higher than the speed of the best swimmer. See that? Once again, who catches whom? the runner catches the fish. Who catches the runner? The bird. The bird catches, these fairy tales of danger. This is from pagan culture. Danger comes from, raptors. Raptors, these birds that swoop down and, steal the lamb, but also steal the baby. Get the idea? Okay. It's called predicting the food chain. Food chain, a phenomenon, natural phenomenon that comes from this, and it's predictable. Let me not fall too far into forgetting stuff. The frequency of this body undulation. This is what flapping the wings. Flapping the wings, the legs straight and running, the fishtailing and the swimming. All these things are body undulations, which we know. I already erased the formula. Is G over L to power 1/2. And turns out to be, if you exploit the formulas, G to 1/2, rho to 1/6, and then M to minus 1/6. So the immediate conclusion is that the bigger should flap their whatever less frequently. The bigger should be less frequent in its motion, frequent. Leg stride. This is a piece of reality, in this case predicted, that's extremely important, because many people, especially tourists in the bush, make the mistake of associating the sluggish movement of the legs of the elephant with slowness, meaning low speed. In reality, the elephant runs faster than the fastest human, same with the hippo. And both are killers of tourists, especially the hippos. Okay. A few other things worth recording. At this intersection of the asymptotes, in an order of magnitude sense, obviously W1 is of the same order as W2, and the sum of the two is of the same order as one of either W1 or W2. So that is the economical or the recommendable flying pattern. And, how big is this effort? It's as big as the scale of W1 divided by the distance of meaning travel during one cycle. So that is the economical ordeal, which of course is mg L over Lx. And if you substitute the preceding results, you can do this on your own. You find that the answer for the so-called cost of flying is rho m over rho to 1/3, and then m times g. This factor rho m over rho is the inverse of r. So this is 1 over r. And you can make a three-pronged fork out of this result and read it. I'll make it here, that the per unit travel effort is proportional to 1 over r. In the case of, so I start with air. Air would be 1 over 10, 1 in water, and let's say 0.3 or something, so that's water, and land. So per unit of distance traveled, the flyer spends 1/10 of the effort of the swimmer. The runner spends 1/3 or even less than the swimmer. And of course, fish have perception, they have brains and memory and all these things, and meaning they're wise enough to have gotten out of the water and start crawling on land. Crawling. By the way, crawling, ask me about crawling, because so far I'm talking about leg stride. But the snakes have locomotion as well. You see there the undulation of the body, but you don't see the legs, which I'll show you, the legs of the snake. That will be next time. The point is that you discover on the back of the same envelope, you predict actually the phenomenon of spreading of vertebrates on Earth. Spreading, why? In the direction of movement toward greater access from slow was earlier, here slow, where is it? Slow to, meaning from slow to faster, from burdensome to easier, a lot more economical. This is why life of these vertebrates originated from down here upward toward easier access, all thanks to the comparison between media, dense, less and less dense. Oh, by the way, it's the same in atmosphere. Atmosphere is not a body at constant density. Yeah, the higher you get, the lower the density, and the faster the flyer and the more economical the flight. That's predicting now the evolution of aviation. Amazing. Oh, there's more than this, or more to this. The higher we go, the faster you go, but to go faster and not hit something, you need better sensors, eyes, to see farther. I mean, we know about the eagle eye. The birds have figured that one already. But when it comes to much, much faster birds called airplanes, you need radar. So the speeds of airplanes increased stepwise after the invention of the radar. The radar was an invention that went with the speed. It was required during World War II for this purpose. You see that? So it's not this lecture is not about zoology. Zoology is the tale you tell your friends during a party. The stories about everything, especially technology or your way of living today. All right, let me see what... Okay, two more things. They go as follows. The There are basically two formulas. So this is the second one for the effort. The first one was the speed, sorry, there are three. The other one was the frequency. They are expressed in terms of the size of the mover, which was called capital M. Remember, the bigger should be faster, the bigger should undulate their bodies less frequently, the bigger should be more economical. No, sorry, the other way around. The bigger should be better weightlifters. See, greater effort in proportion with the size of the body. You can transform these three equations by replacing M with the density of the body times L to power 3. And after you do that, in place of the first result, you get V over the rho over rho M to 1/3, and then GL to 1/2, where this is the term that I called little r. With those extreme values 10 and 1. And this factor here is Galileo's speed of falling down. Except that this time the speed is the speed of falling forward. So the bigger animal is faster because it is like a stick that is taller and falling forward. So the bigger, this is bigger stick of height L, falls forward faster than a pencil. Meaning, this is the V that matters. Here's the pencil. Get it? So, to whom goes the advantage in, let's say, the 100 meter dash? To the taller runner. Any of you know the history of athletics? Speed records? In the 50s and the 60s, the 100 meter dash was won by athletes who had access to the best training in the world and the biggest incentive in the world, which was that under communism, athletes wanted to be able to travel abroad, and so they were sent to win gold medals. And they were short, but very good at running. The last of these types was Valery Borzov in the, I think, late 60s. Sorry, even before that. Never mind. And then came the big ones. The big ones who took over all the way to Usain Bolt, who's a very tall man. Today, all these sprinters are tall. All right? Oh, incidentally, now you know why. Never mind. This controversy about men runners and women runners. There's an obvious difference in speed that has to do with size. The physics is the one that separates the oil from the water. You know, it's simply the prediction is as simple as reading the formula shown here in terms of L, the height, because when it comes to size, in a one-dimension description of the bird, that 1 degree of freedom is either M, capital M, or capital L. And then So okay, and then I'll almost stop here, not quite. It goes without saying that everything you see on the blackboard was published and compared with the literature from zoology collected by empirical researchers from data in everything from swimming to flying, covering the size range, capital M, from 10 to minus 6 kilograms. Try to figure out how small that thing is. We talk about things really, really antsy and smaller. And then the other end, 1 ton. Very good agreement with everything. Meaning that all these animals, all these animals agree with the theory. Also said as follows: the fish agree with the runners and the flyers. But the theory, as you saw, began with a bird that fights against gravity and then falls, and fights against gravity and falls. What about the fish? You must have heard that everybody knows that gravity doesn't matter to the fish. And why do the fish agree with the theory in which gravity is something to be fought against, to lift? And I'll let you think about that. My next lecture is about the story of first recognizing the question and figuring out why the fish are no different than the runners and the flyers, contrary to what everybody knows.